Welcome everyone, this is your own channel learner Saga. In this video we will discuss the second part of the autobiography from Wings of Fire, My Childhood. But before starting, I like to request you to press the like button and subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to share and comment on the video. So without wasting any time, let's begin. In the previous video we have discussed how Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam used to enjoy his childhood days with close association with his family members. We also knew that he had his friendship with some of the Hindu boys who later took their occupation in their respective fields. Today we will learn from paragraph number 6. One day when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameswaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. So we have already noticed that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam used to study with some of the Hindu boys with him, and in their school. Now what happens, one day a new teacher joined. A new teacher came to their class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to Ramanatha Sastri, who wore the sacred thread. So here it is also said that Dr. Kalam used to sit in the front row and next to his dearest friend Ramanatha Sastri. And as he was a Brahmin by caste, so he used to wear the sacred thread. You can see here, this is called sacred thread. This is the sacred thread worn by the Brahmin. So as it is given here, the Ramanatha Sastri, he used to wear the sacred thread. Sacred means holy or pure. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So this is an idiomatic expression, could not stomach. Stomach is associated with the capability to digest anything. So here this term or this phrase, could not stomach, it means he could not digest or he could not tolerate a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So the teacher was very orthodox and he believed in communal disharmony, and he did not like the idea of a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. In accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. And it is said that as the social ranking was prevalent during those era, however it is still prevalent in some part of our country also. But here Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said that the new teacher, as he found it quite right, he asked him to go and sit on the back bench because he believed that the Muslim boy should be the backbencher. I felt very sad, and so did Ramanatha Sastri. Both the friends, they became very sad because they were now to be separated. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. So here you can see that his friend Ramanatha Sastri was also very downcast. Downcast means to become sad or depressed. So he also became very sad. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. And whenever Dr. Kalam imagines the sight of his dearest friend weeping because he was to sit at the back bench at the last row, and his dearest friend was weeping. This image, whenever comes to Dr. Kalam's mind, Dr. Kalam feels emotional. As it is said, it had a lasting impression on him. So he was very much impressed with that sight, that his friend is also very much sad to part with him. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. So what was the incident? The incident was in paragraph number 6. We found that a new teacher, he joined their school. The school name is Rameswaram Elementary School. You can see here Rameswaram Elementary School. And as he was an orthodox Hindu by religion, so he didn't tolerate that a Hindu boy, especially a Brahmin boy, sitting very next to a Muslim boy. That's why he behaved accordingly and ordered Dr. Kalam to sit at the back, at the last row, and thereby they departed. They parted. The two friends had to sit separately. The Hindu boy was in the very first row, and Dr. Kalam had to sit at the last row. And Dr. Kalam also said in this paragraph that when they parted, their friend, the friend Ramananda Sastri, he was weeping, and this sight has a very lasting impression on the mind of the little boy Dr. Kalam. Although during that time he was not Dr. Kalam, still we can say that it had so much impression. It was so impressed him. It so impressed him that he again cherishes that image. Now we should move forward. Paragraph number 7. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. So this is the incident. Lakshmana Sastri summoned the teacher. So the student's father was Lakshmana Sastri. He summoned the teacher. Summon means he called. To summon means to call someone. So here Lakshmana Sastri, the father of Ramananda Sastri, he summoned the teacher, and in our presence told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. So Lakshmana Sastri, what did he do? He called the teacher, and in the student's presence, when Dr. Kalam as a student and his friend Ramananda Sastri was present, Lakshmana Sastri called the teacher and advised him not to spread communal intolerance in the minds of the innocent little children. They do not know anything about the social inequality, so he should stop spreading the poison in the minds of the innocent children. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. And he was a very reputed person. Everyone respected him. That's why he told the teacher bluntly. Bluntly means frankly. He frankly said that you are to apologize. Whatever you have done, it's not tolerable here. You are spreading the social inequality in the minds of the pure children. So you should apologize at once, or if you don't, you should leave the school. Not only the school, but the Rameswaram island. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Sastri conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. So, as asked by Lakshmana Sastri, the teacher definitely regretted. Regret means he apologized, he had his regret, and a strong sense of conviction as conveyed by Lakshmana Sastri ultimately reformed this young teacher. That means, as Lakshmana Sastri advised him not to spread the communal disharmony in the minds of the children, he understood. The young teacher, he was very young, so he understood, and realizing this point, he accepted his fault. And it is said that it conveyed ultimately, it creates a strong sense of conviction. What is conviction? Conviction means a strong opinion or belief. So, Lakshmana Sastri conveyed him a new conviction, and it changed his orthodox ideology. Ultimately, he was reformed. Reformed means that he was changed and improved rather. His ideology was changed and reformed and improved. So, this paragraph says that after the incident, Lakshmana Sastri, Ramanada's father, he called the teacher, and in the student's presence, he suggested him that he should apologize for his behavior, or if he is not agree to do so, he should leave the school and also the island. So, understanding this, the young teacher, he regretted, he accepted his guilt, his fault, and not only he accepted, definitely his ideology was changed. He was a reformed person now. Okay. On the whole, the small society of Rameswaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. On the whole, so as a whole, we can say that the Rameswaram society, the island of Rameswaram, was very rigid. Rigid means very strict in terms of the segregation of different social groups. Segregation means in terms of separation of different social groups. However, my science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. So, his teacher, his science teacher, Dr. Kalam's science teacher, Siva Subramania Iyer, although he was a very orthodox Brahmin and he had his conservative wife, still he was a rebel against this type of rigidity. What kind of rigidity? As in the very first line of this paragraph, it is said that the society of Rameswaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. That means the island of Rameswaram and their society, they did believe in the separation of social groups. So there were the social distinction, the social separation. The people believed in them. And his science teacher, Siva Subramania Iyer, he was a very orthodox Hindu and Brahmin. Not only that, his wife was also a very conservative one. Conservative means traditional, who believed in traditional things. But this science teacher, although he was himself a Brahmin, orthodox Brahmin, and in addition to that, his wife was a conservative one, still he did not believe in social segregation. He was a rebel. A rebel means he did not believe in this. He was opposite. He was in opposition with this idea of social segregation. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily, and he tried his best to break this type of social inequalities or barriers so that people from varying backgrounds, varying means different backgrounds, could mingle easily, could mix easily. Mingle means to mix with one another comfortably and easily. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. So Kalam's teacher used to spend many hours with him, and he said that he wanted Dr. Kalam to develop in such a way that he should be on par. On par means equally with the highly educated people of the big cities. So by this line we can see that we can here observe that the science teacher loved young Kalam very much. As a student, he loved him very much. So this is about the paragraph number 8. Here we are talked about we come to know about science teacher, Kalam science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer. He was a Brahmin having a conservative traditional wife, but he did not believe in communal disharmony. He was a rebel regarding this, and he loved Dr. Kalam very much. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. So, as it is quite usual, one day as the science teacher invited Kalam to his home for a meal, his conservative wife became horrified. She became afraid when she came to know that a Muslim boy would dine at her home. Being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. Ritually pure means, as it is given in your book, you can see, kept protected from all outside influences for the observances of religion. That means, as they are Hindu, they are Brahmin, so their kitchen is also pure according to them, as they had not ever invited any Muslim or any other religious person maybe in their kitchen. So in this point of view, they regarded their kitchen as pure. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. That's why she refused to serve Kalam in her kitchen. Siva Subramania Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife. So the science teacher, he was a very calm person. He was wise. He understood what was going on in his wife's mind. That's why he was not perturbed. Perturbed means disturbed. So he was not disturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife. Even he did not express his anger on his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. So, as his wife was unwilling to serve him food, to serve Kalam food. The teacher, he himself joined with Kalam. He served Kalam with his own hands and sat down beside him to eat his own meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. And Dr. Kalam said here that probably she must have witnessed that although Kalam was a Muslim boy, but probably she might not have found any kind of differences in their manner of eating when the two persons were eating, her own husband and Kalam. So when they ate like a human being. When they drank like a human being. Or when after their meal Kalam cleaned the floor, definitely he behaved like a human being. And that is the main thing. At the end of the day, we all are human. When I was leaving his house, Siva Subramania Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. So again, for the next weekend, the science teacher invited him. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. See here, as it is said, charity begins at home. So the teacher is also leading from the front, asking his student to face the situation, even if the very first challenge belongs to his own house. He said that once you decide to change the system, what system? This kind of communal disharmony. Such problems have to be faced. Such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Siva Subramania Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. So now the conservative wife has also changed. When in the next week Kalam went to his teacher's house, the conservative wife of the science teacher, she took Kalam inside her kitchen and served him food with her own hands. So this is quite interesting paragraph number 9. What happened? One day his science teacher invited him to dine at his own house. But as the science teacher wife was very traditional, he at first felt quite uncomfortable to serve Kalam with her own hands. But the science teacher, he did not become afraid or anger. He did not become angry on his wife. So what did he do? He joined with Kalam and served Kalam with his own hands. When they finished their meal, again the science teacher invited him for the next weekend. Now, when he later joined the science teacher after 1 week to have the dinner, to have the meal there, then we noticed the science teacher wife also felt very comfortable with a Muslim boy. So this paragraph tells us everything about the communal harmony that the science teacher used to convey to the society. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. After the Second World War, India's freedom was imminent. What is imminent? Imminent means that is very near or about to happen soon. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. So there is a speech of Mahatma Gandhi. He said that Indians will build their own India. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. So it was the scenario after the Second World War when India was about to get freedom. And the whole country was filled with unprecedented, means never known before. Unprecedented means that is never known before. Optimism means any hope that some good thing will happen. So the whole country was filling with the hope that something good will happen. What good? India's freedom. Then Dr. Kalam asked his father's permission to leave Rameswaram, and he wanted to study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. That's why he asked the permission of his father. This is the small paragraph number 10. It is said here that after the Second World War, all the Indians become very optimistic that they would soon get their freedom. And during that time, Kalam also asked his father's permission to leave this island, Rameswaram, and to join Ramanathapuram for his upper studies, for his higher studies. And it is the district headquarters. He told me, as if thinking aloud, Abul, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? Okay, so his father, as we have noticed in our first video, that his father was a very wise person. Although he did not have any formal education and he was a very simple person, he was not so rich, still he was a very wise man. So he told Kalam that he knew that Dr. Kalam had to go away one day because in order to grow. And he quoted one example also. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? That means if you are to become if you are to achieve your dream, then you must go for that. It doesn't matter whether you are alone or without a nest, without a supporting hand. He quoted Khalil Gibran. To my hesitant mother, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So now the quotation from Khalil Gibran, his father, a wise man, he quoted a speech from Khalil Gibran. Who was Khalil Gibran? Khalil Gibran was a Lebanese American writer, and his famous poem was On Children. He wrote a famous poem on children, and here Dr. Kalam's father quoted this poem. The poem's name is On Children, and it was written by Khalil Gibran. In the poem it is said, you can see here in the quotation in the inverted commas, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. That means they are the sons, definitely they are the offsprings, but they are not yours. They are of life's longing or life's wish for itself. They come through you, You are the medium. They come through you. That means you are the medium, but not from you. But you are not the source. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. As your offspring, as your sons and daughters, you definitely should bestow your love upon them, but not your thoughts. Your thoughts should be different. It may be different. They have their own thoughts and beliefs, for they have their own thoughts. They are another entities. They are different entities, so they must have their own feelings and thoughts. So here, by quoting this famous speech from Khalil Gibran from the poem On Children, Dr. Kalam's wise father, tried to convince Dr. Kalam's hesitant mother. As the mother was hesitant, he was not supporting Dr. Kalam's idea to leave the island for his higher studies. So, to make her agree, Dr. Kalam's father quoted Khalil Gibran's famous speech. So, in paragraph number 11, here again we have the some information about Dr. Kalam's father. He was very wise and he supported Dr. Kalam's wish that he should leave the island for his higher studies. While his mother was reluctant, she was not giving her consent to leave the island, but Dr. Kalam's father tried to manage her. He tried to convince her and give Kalam the permission, so that she may give Kalam the permission to leave the island for his higher studies. And to do so, he quoted the famous speech from Khalil Gibran from the poem On Children. So it's an extract from Wings of Fire, which is the autobiography. Dr. Kalam wrote about himself in this autobiography. An autobiography is something where a person writes about himself. So this is how the story ends here. The autobiography ends here. Now students, if you have any problem regarding this video, any question if you have, you may please write in the comment section. I will try to answer you. Hoping to meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.